Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Island Church Weekly Podcast. Thanks so much for joining us today. Pastor Will, thank you for joining us today. How was Sunday Island Church?
Well, it was a great Sunday, Matt. We had Leo Schofield with us, and it was just a big day.
Yeah,
Do
how
you want me
was?
to tell you something about that?
I would love for you to tell me more about how the time was with Leo. That would be amazing.
Well, it's just quite interesting. I think just God. I think the Spirit of God was on him, and it was in our God's presence really felt in our church. And Sandy, gave leadership as we normally do. If you weren't here, I'd encourage you to go back. You can watch it on the YouTube channel. You can maybe even connect in on Facebook. I'm not sure if the links on that's working, but they can check through our website and figure that out. And if you have trouble, then give us a buzz, and we'll be happy to help you do that. But we had kind of a meet and greet about 9:15, and we had some extra breakfast type food, and we engaged Leo and Chrissy, his wife, that was with him. And then we did our normal part of our service, and then I was able to introduce him and tell our congregation they'd already seen most of his story, or knew something. Most everyone knew something about his story, and so what I was able to tell them that they did not know, many of them, is that this church had been sponsoring Leo's church that he had been pastoring inside the prison for all those years, and a couple of other churches. So when people give to our mission fund, or they even give out their normal tithes and offerings, part of that's going to help support the work that was going on there. And so that anyway, we were just able to tie together for our people their giving, our mission effort, at least one particular mission partner, and Leo's story. And then Leo did a great job telling part of his story. It's not a whining and complaining. It's a story of overcoming. It's a story of trusting God. It's a story of not becoming bitter or being wronged. For 36 years, it's a story of forgiving people that were involved in this, in particular the person that killed his wife, and then hopefully it's a story of hope, really trusting God. But he really talked a good bit about Matt, about his personal experience. And I would encourage everyone that's listening to think about this, that there's one thing to know about God in your head and listen to stuff and read it in a book or listen to a sermon. But when you live this stuff out and you watch God show up, no one can take that from you.
Yeah, absolutely.
He just can't take it from you.
Yeah.
And so he had to trust God in a very tough prison environment to come through and have love win out in those relationships, as opposed to tough guy winning out.
Yeah.
So he didn't share that he meets with the gang. It was meeting with the gangs, the 12 major gang leaders and the leaders of the prison system, really to hold calm. And for years he's been doing this. And so, but you have to be authentic. And love has to really conquer there, because he's not trying to run and be a tough guy. So it's a really amazing story. And then he focused, after he transitioned, he talked about some of his story, not all that long, maybe 10 minutes or something. And then he transitioned to very direct, good biblical message. And if you didn't hear, he was actually a songwriter and wanted to be a professional musician when all this happened to him in his early 20s. And so he played and he sang a couple of numbers. And so we look forward to supporting them and encouraging him in different ways. He really would love to be doing ministry types of things most of the time. He's not in a situation now where he can do those full time at one spot, but he can do itinerant work. So it was a good day. If you missed it, you missed it. Go back and watch it, and you'll really be encouraged. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing a little bit more about that. Obviously, that was a big week that we've been talking about for a while. And Leo's story is so powerful, but I think it's worth anyone to go watch kind of what happened on Sunday. And so with that in mind, Pastor Will, what's coming up in future Sundays and kind of coming down the road for Island Church?
Right. Well, as you know, we begin a new series this week. I'm going to be a series of messages entitled Authentic Me, Discovering Who God Made You to Be. And I think there's so many different problems that stem out of indirectly a person not really getting settled out who they are in Christ. And if you get a good handle on who God is and who you are, that solves a lot of stuff. Because if not, we act out or live out. I don't mean just acting, but I mean we live out of insecurities or for fears or of God or ourselves, or we get haunted by our past, and all
Yeah.
kinds of things can happen to us. And so it really is so important in a marriage relationship, in our friendships, in church life. It really impacts our perspective. We really need to have a good handle on who we are before a holy God.
Absolutely.
And so we're going to take a look at that the next several weeks. I'm really looking forward to that. So that's coming up starting this Sunday, and that'll be at 10 o'clock, and we'll run that 4 or 5 weeks, maybe extend out to 6, but probably about 5 weeks. And so look forward to sharing. That's a new thing that's coming up. And then, most of our life groups are back and moving. Monday nights, there's a group on October the 1st, actually next Tuesday. Sandy and I will begin. If you're not in a group right now, and Life Group, we'd love to have you connect with us. We're going to start at the building, at our church building, with that group on Tuesday night, October 1st. And so if you're interested in that, let us know. Give Stacy a call. Give me a call. That'd be fine. Sandy, reach out to Sandy. And it's a great way to connect with people. Really, we're not to live out our faith individually. On Sunday mornings, we do try to connect, and we do a really good job of welcoming people, and connecting with people. As a church, it's a really welcoming place. But we just all need more encouragement. We need to encourage others. We need to use our life experience and help each other. And that really happens best. And so we're going to do about a 6-week deal. It's all you're committing to on the Heart Attitudes. I do understand there's 7 Heart Attitudes, but
try combine 2.
Yes, we'll do that 1 week. Just
Cool.
Fits in prior to Thanksgiving.
Awesome.
So October 1st, let us know. We'd love to have you. If you're not involved in a group and you say, well, I don't know about that. We're not going to put you on the spot. We're not going to be asking you to pray out loud, read out loud, do those kinds of things. You can do those things if you like to, but we're not one of my fears from elementary school, Matt, just a little back.
Hey, a little nugget into you.
A little nugget here, like 2nd, 3rd grade, trying to learn to read and trying to read out loud. I'm thinking no, let me add, let me multiply. I was really good at math. But reading, no, I'm not doing that. So if you have a fear of that, don't worry about it. Don't worry about not knowing enough. We've got a book. We're all going to be looking at the same book. And so let me encourage you, if you're not connected in a group, to consider coming around on Tuesday nights with Sandy and me.
Love it. Love it. And so then how can folks be praying for the church this week?
Well, people really stepped up this week, and they connected in with Leo and with Chrissy, and maybe somebody would like to give. They certainly can pray for them in this major transitions that they're in. He went from studying, preparing, and preaching every week, and doing ministry, and a group of people that he was leading, to moving outside. If you've been in prison 36 years, you don't have friends, so you can pray for them. Some have asked how they can help either our missions effort, which that's a part of our overall missions effort. So you're welcome to give to the Island and Beyond, which is the name of, then give to the church and just put missions at the bottom. It's the Island and Beyond. And we try to have ministry partners on places that we can't touch. We can't touch the prison. Mark and Ty are touching them on our behalf. And of course, Leo has access in some of the ministries that God's entrusted to him. So you can pray for them, and then just pray for a place to connect and serve. Last week, maybe it's 2 weeks ago, I preached on, don't stay a customer of a church. Don't stay a consumer of a church, but really be a co-laborer of the church. What that means is that we want people to find their place, and we're not trying to strong arm people, but find a place. That's where you really get the most benefit. The people that are most engaged usually enjoy it the most. It kind of works out that way, and you grow the most. So see Sandy, see Stacy, see me, talk to Tom about a place to serve, and just get started. And they just get to know we have some pretty remarkable people, what God's done, and we have some fun together. And as Chris Riley and I, our administrative chair, talk about, we're going to get things done. We're going to have fun and get things done. We're going to do both.
Yep, absolutely. So pray for your place to plug in, to serve, connect, and also be praying for Leo and his family kind of as they transition out of everything. So, thank you so much, Pastor Will, for the time today. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing your heart. And thank you, everyone, for watching the Island Church Weekly Podcast. We'll see you back here next week.